Here we go, Joust for the Atari 5200. I gave this game another name once. I called it Bird Ass, because you really land on your opponent's head with your giant fluffy bird ass and kill them that way rather than actually stabbing them with your jousting lance. This is about the 5th or 6th version of Joust that I've reviewed. I'm going to have to find a copy of Bird Ass 2 out there somewhere one of these days. That's a cool game. I'm kind of a fan of Joust, aka Bird Ass. I like this game. I'm terrible at it, and even more so when my flapping button sticks. But it's such an awesome game and a brilliant arcade game. I've lost many a quarter to Joust. And by lost, I mean fail miserably. The Atari 5200 game cartridge for Joust is extremely affordable, easy to find today, and I'm impressed with what a great job they did bringing the arcade classic to the Atari 5200 in 1982. This is far more faithful to the arcade Joust machine than the Atari 2600 game cartridge. The Atari 2600 version is not bad, I've previously reviewed that. But if I had a fully functional brand new 5200 controller, which I don't, this one would totally bird-ass the Atari 2600 cartridge. I'm turning bird-ass into a common verb, because you don't kill enemies in this game, you bird-ass them. That's bird-ass-tastic. You know how they could turn smurf into any kind of word or adjective or verb that they wanted? Well, you can do the same thing with bird-ass. I totally bird-assed that test. Well, enough with that. I'm going to bird-ass the rest of the review. I like the Roadrunner sound that you make when you come to a complete screeching stop. The arm that comes out of the lava looks outstanding in this 5200 version, and overall the beeping and blooping sound effects are pretty cool. The audio quality from the 5200 is surprisingly good. In most versions of Joust, when the egg hatches, it just hatches the enemy jousting guy, and then a bird will swoop in and he'll get on the bird, and then they'll fly off and try to bird-ass you. In this version, however, the egg hatches a bird complete with an enemy rider, together, which is kind of creepy, and that's bird-assed up. As I've said previously, the Atari 5200 controller is bird-assed with some serious problems. For one thing, my firing button sticks, and it's just not the easiest controller to use when bird-assing your enemies. You shouldn't let such a high degree of bird-assedness bird-ass your opinion of bird-ass. You don't have smart bombs, you don't have laser beams, you just have the power of bird-assing your bird-assed enemies. I like to take my time when playing Joust and savor each time I land on somebody with my bird ass. At least until the pterodactyl comes out and does away with me. At that point the game becomes much more challenging, especially when your firing button is not working all that well. As I said, if you have a perfect brand new or reconditioned Atari 5200 controller or aftermarket controller with an excellent firing button, this version of Joust is terrific. It's very well made, it's smooth, it's fluid, it looks great, it plays well. And it's very similar to the Atari 7800 game cartridge, which came out several years later, and is also an excellent version of Joust. Yeah, thanks for respawning me right in front of the pterodactyl. If you're looking for an excellent version of Joust, the arcade machine is still the way to go. However, you can also find Joust on pretty much every game console out there, like the Atari 7800, PlayStation 1, PSP, Xbox Live Arcade. And it's a game you have to play. Ask yourself, isn't it time I bird-assed someone today? I, for one, am very glad that pterodactyls are extinct because, man, they've just completely destroyed my game. Well, that and it's difficult to get out of the way. When you push once and it actually pushes twice, it bounces you off the invisible ceiling into the pterodactyl. I'm blaming something else because it's certainly not my fault.